If someone came to you and said, "I want you to teach me two-way prayer. I want to be indoctrinated into this practice. I'm here. I'm cl- I'm clay for you to mold now."
Fail for you.
Okay. See, and this is where in working with alcoholics and addicts, it is somewhat easier. It's somewhat easier because this kind of flows into their 12-step history, and they've kind of been indoctrinated in that. And so this is known as the 11th step, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood God, praying only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. So you're already set up for that.
So folks that have a contemplative practice or some kind of desire or longing or need to invite in meditation and contemplation is helpful.
It's necessary. It's necessary. Otherwise, this becomes kind of a parlor game. And it's not intended to be a parlor game. It's intended, I think, to access a source of help.
Yeah. I think I
So,
fall into that. I've done John Kabat-Zinn's mindfulness-based stress reduction
right.
program, which is it's a meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I also have recently gone back to contemplative practice communities like Austin Zen Center
Right.
and Mary Posa Sangha here in Austin, and have been
Right.
meditating again,
Yeah,
which is
good.
something I did before COVID, but I lost the practice somewhere in that whole
Mm-hmm.
kerfuffle.
Right. And typically now in many meditative practices, the goal might be stillness, silence,
Mm-hmm.
non-thought. Okay. In this practice, that is not the goal. The goal is to listen to a source within and see what words come up, what sentences come up. And as you become more comfortable with it, it's like when I started off, it was a word, it was scratchy here, a little bit there. Then I kind of felt, well, I think this voice can actually speak in sentences. Why not let it flow?
It actually matured, it sounds
It
like.
did. Yeah, God came a long way, Just a little tutelage is all he needed. And then I would read some things of people who had done some of the writing, who practiced two-way prayer. Their writings. Well, they were sentences, so I allowed it. I allowed it to speak to me as in a conversation.
Yeah.
The difference is, and I've kind of come up on this myself, is it's not a two-way back and forth conversation. Make it an expression of need, and then listen. You don't keep going back and forth. And I did a fair amount of study of psychology and such. And the reason for that, the thing that makes sense, is the ego needs to be a step down. This is not a equal. It's I'm coming because I have a need. Speak to me. And the voice that's speaking already knows your needs, already knows what's going on. Sometimes the voice will take you to another place that you never even asked about.
Yeah.
All right. So it's not, this in, that out, this in, that out, back and forth. It's an openness to a presence that resides deep inside of us. All right. That wants us to become who we are meant to be.
Yeah.
The image I like, I forget where it came from, but it was like, it's like if you take the image of the acorn and the oak tree, I'm meant to be an oak tree, but I'm stuck, frightened, uh, uh, reluctant to let go of my acornness. And yet it's only if I let go of my acornness that which is within can
flourish or blossom
flourish,
or yeah.
become who you're meant to be.
Mm.
Yeah. So that process is going on in everybody. And how do you get in touch with that?
How do you get
Well,
out of your own way? But then
exactly.
by you, I mean the ego.
Right. That's right. Oh, I
And
got it.
and the words that came to mind were like, how do you humble yourself or how do you
Humility
humility?
is so important in this.